gorgeous and famed Italian panna cotta. A panna cotta, though most people feel is only restaurant worthy and extremely difficult to create at home, here's my easy take on a panna cotta: equal quantities of cream and milk coming together. Now the flavoring, you can go right ahead, get innovative, get out of the box and create various combinations and have unique desserts lined up. Let's get to creating my version of a very modern take on a orange marmalade and kaffir lime panna cotta, scented beautifully with the modern day scents yet being true to the original Italian classic. Let's get to cooking it. This panna cotta is truly so easy to create. All you need to do is take 250 mils of milk, put it into a saucepan. With that, we are going to take 250 mils of cream, put that into the saucepan as well. Now, a panna cotta is literally called cooked cream. You never boil the two ingredients together, but rather allow it to come to about 70 to 80 degrees Celsius. Not simmering, but just about there. In goes about 70 grams of the finest of castor sugars. Just put that in to sweeten the entire mix. And since we are using kaffir lime to get the oriental touch to this gorgeous dessert, I'm just going to roughly tear 4 leaves and allow it to steep in the milk. We're definitely going to remove it off before we set this gorgeous dessert. We're going to let this steep in the milk for at least 15 to 20 minutes just to release all that essential flavor and marry with the marmalade when it goes right in. Blooming of gelatin in cold water is one of the crucial things to do. So here I've got about 50 ml of normal water and I'm taking 12 to 13 grams of gelatin. We're just going to put the gelatin on top and allow it to soak up and bloom in this water mix. Once it blooms in about 15 minutes, we are going to go right ahead and add it to our milk emulsion. Having allowed the kaffir lime leaves to steep for at least 15 minutes, you do not want the flavors to be very sharp, yet you want it to give that subtle tinge right at the end. I'm just going to have the leaves removed right now. The trick here is to never boil this emulsion. Just allow it to come to a nice steaming point where you see vapors coming out. Here we have the gelatin, which has bloomed really well. While I'm adding gelatin to this mix, you can go right ahead and add a vegetarian product. You can add agar-agar to this mix and create the same result. Just allow it to mix well and emulsify with this cream and milk emulsion. For a minute to a minute and a half, you need to stir it, and then we're just going to go ahead and switch off the flame. Now here's a tip. The best way to judge that you're on the perfect right track is lift out a little on your ladle, put your finger in and test. If you get a little bit of stickiness coming through, that's our version of checking that you're on the perfect right track. So with this ready, we're just going to switch off the flame, allow it to come to room temperature before we add in my famed and gorgeous blood orange marmalade into it. With this cream and milk emulsion of the panna cotta coming to room temperature, I'm just going to take a cup of it, rather half a cup of it, and pour it into about 80 grams of orange marmalade and create the perfect and smoothest of textures with the orange nicely mixing along with the cream and milk emulsion. With the marmalade emulsifying into this mixture, creating quite an opaque cream and fawn across between that color mix, we're just going to pour the entire thing straight in. You must always season any dessert, so a generous sprinkling of some sea salt, subtle just to enjoy all the flavors coming together. Mix this and it's time to go into my jug. I always put such things into a jug because it's so much more easier to pour in individual bowls. With everything into my jug and all, The rind is going to settle at the bottom, but you just have to swirl it every now and then and pour it. Swirling it, you just start pouring it gently into your molds. So while I'm using individual molds and I like them to set in it, and it's so much more easier, the trick here is if you want to serve it in the mold, then you go right ahead and put it in the refrigerator to chill for a minimum of 2 hours. However, if you want it to demold and get a wobbly texture, it sits in the refrigerator for 4 hours before demolding it. So with a swizzle again, we're just going to pour this. A little bit of the rind going into each bowl. This is far more easier to do than getting everything riled up and falling all over the place. All this needs is a good chilling for 2.5 hours, and we are ready to garnish this with an orange segment and enjoy it. Having allowed these beautiful Italian panna cottas to set, they've set perfectly, giving the sense of the kaffir lime and the orange marmalade permeating into the air really well. The best way to know that your panna cotta is set perfectly well is when you get this wobble, but it's set and ready to enjoy. These panna cottas require that little garnish to accentuate it. So here I've got a wedge of an orange that I'm just going to open out for the beautiful pits to be seen in, and it sits right on top. It's such a simple garnish and just brings out the star elements of the entire dish. I hope you enjoyed creating this easy to make, restaurant style, gorgeous Italian kaffir lime and orange marmalade panna cotta. Don't forget to share loads of love by hitting on the like button, and as I always say, don't forget to subscribe.